Hey gang, Carl White here. All right, on this episode, I'm going to do an interview with my dear friend Thomas. He's over at Model Match. They got this really cool new thing. Not only can you look up the production of real estate agents, not only can you look up the production of loan officers, they now have availability where you can look up borrowers. In other words, if you ever change companies and you lost your data and I lost all my borrowers, you can go, hey, give me all the borrowers that loan officer Larry, like yourself, or frankly, I guess any loan officer, you can look up all the borrower information also, and it's got their loan to value, the value of the property, what's the current balance, what's the interest rate, which one of them would be interested in refinancing to get rid of mortgage insurance. Anyway, real good stuff. I don't want to lay it all on the table here at the beginning, but listen to this episode. This is very interesting information. And these guys do it like cheap, 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 cheap. So without any further delay, here's my interview with Thomas. Oh, one quick thing, in case you don't have a whole lot of time to listen to, if you go to modelmatch.com/MMA, modelmatch.com/MMA, they have special pricing where they give you a tremendous discount. So anyway, without further ado, here's Thomas. Thomas Seelbinder. How you doing, my brother?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I'm
Yeah, where are
staying
you
busy.
located?
I'm out in Hickory, North Carolina.
Just down the road. So I'm over in High Point, North Carolina, even as we speak. So we're neighbors today.
Furniture capitals,
Furniture capital of the world. In fact, that's what we're doing. We just bought a house here, and we came up for a couple of weeks to furnish it because we're having a birthday party here next Saturday. We had like literally a completely empty brand new to us, new house.
Right, 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 right.
Anyway, nobody wants to hear about that crap. What they want to hear is, "Hey, fellas, bring it to the table. What do you got?" So Thomas, what's your role over at Model Match?
So currently heading up product and customer success. So both sides of the world, I get to sit on and manage and lead with our developers, and then I also get to have conversations like this and talk to our partners, talk to our users.
All right. And if somebody says, "Hey, what is Model Match?" What is Model Match?
So we're a market intelligence tool. So I like to refer to us as the actionable market intelligence tool.
What does that mean?
Um, Accessing, finding real estate agents that are in your market, who's doing consistent business. As a loan officer, who you should be focused in on, building relationships with on the referral partner side, being able to take that data and do something with it, right? Whether you use our tools where you can make phone calls, you could build an unlimited amount of list, you can
And
push that
you say
data.
realtor data, what do you mean by that, and how does that benefit me?
Yeah, no, 100%. What loan officers are they working with? What markets are they closing listing properties in on the buy side, on the sell side? How many units are they doing on a monthly basis, every 6 months, every 12 months, every 14 months, all the way back to 2017.
And
So
so, and
full.
and and the idea behind this is when I have their data, I know what agents to spend my marketing time with, and frankly, maybe which ones not to. Dude, I always tell this story. I had this agent that I was going after for a while, and this lady was like mammoth, right, in
Yeah,
her business, right, and
right.
really super nice lady, and I knew she was mammoth because she had all these billboards up and down the highway where I live, and I checked, they were running about $4,000 to $5,000 each per month. And so I know this lady's got it going on because she's got like five billboards on the main road. I was
Yeah,
talking with another agent, said, I've been going after, I'm not going to say her name, but let's call her
sure.
Debbie. I've been going after Debbie for the last year. And I took her to coffee. She laughs at my jokes. I laugh at her jokes. I think at the appropriate level, of course, we like each other, and I've been sharing nuggets with her and will not send me a referral. And the agent I'm talking to, her name was Mary. That's her real name. She was
Yeah,
sitting there looking at me kind of with her mouth open. She goes, Carl, you got to be kidding me. And I said, well, no, what? She said, did you realize she has no business whatsoever? I said, what are you talking about? She's got these billboards up and down the highway. She's got $20,000 a month worth of those. I know she's doing something. She goes, no, her husband is a plastic surgeon and they use her picture as part of the marketing tool to his plastic surgery. Even though she's a real estate agent, everybody knows who her
Right.
husband is, and they do it for that, and maybe a little bit of ego, or whatever, for whatever
Sure.
reason. So come to find out, this lady had no business going on whatsoever. And I'm sitting there thinking, I'm a loser. I'm not saying the right things. She don't like me. What am I doing wrong? Colossal waste of time. So the bottom line is model match keeps me from doing bozo moves. Is that kind of the bottom line here?
100%. Yeah. Time is money. And so when you reach out to an agent and you're focused in like you were with that agent, you're spending money doing that.
Yeah.
And you never got a referral out of it because there was no referral to get. And you had no clue into that.
Yeah. And the worst part of that is not just the wasted time. You say wasted money, coffee, lunch. I sent her a couple tchotchkes, a little candle at Christmas. No big deal there. For me, and maybe this is just my own insecurities, the worst of it was I thought something was wrong with me. And that
Mm.
really damaged my approach to other agents because I thought, man, I've got to, I'm doing something wrong. I don't know what I'm saying. I can't change too much about what I look like, and it really screwed
Yeah.
with me. And then when Mary told me, oh, she's not doing any business, it was like this wave of relief and then a little bit of anger, not at her, right, but at
Sure.
myself for not having that. But see, back then you couldn't just go online and open up Model Match and see what their production is. So now,
Right.
so not only can I look up real estate agents, I can also look up loan officers too. Is that correct? Like if I'm a branch manager looking to add talent, I can look that up also.
100%. Yep. And our mortgage data looking up loan officers goes back to 2017 as well. So you get a full look from 17 all the way forward into their business. You can also do competitor analysis if you want to look at your competitors at the company at the corporate level. You can see how many LOs are they onboarding, how many LOs have left recently, where have those LOs gone. So you have insight into not only the LO side of things, but also the competitor insights along with the real estate transaction information to allow you to look up agents. So it's full scale.
Hey, I got a question for you, kind of off the cuff, and I know we're going to be talking about some of the newer things that you guys are offering. Do you find in your data, do real estate agents change organizations at the same frequency that loan officers do? You ever notice that?
I wouldn't say at the same frequency, but there are definitely some agents that make moves and change brokerages quite often, I would say. I would say depending on the tier of loan officer that you're at, your volume level, with over a period of time dictates those
Yeah.
changes. Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. Interesting.
Yeah.
All right. So tell me about some of the data that I can look up and how does that benefit me? So kind of give me a kind of a here's what I got, here's how it benefits you. And I know we're going to talk about some new things too, if you want to weave that in or whatever you think would be best.
Yeah, yeah, no, for sure. So, the most important thing from a loan officer perspective is, as we've been talking about, right? Which is, okay, I need to know which agents from a net new referral partner. I want to go out and I want to find new referral partners. These are agents that I'm not getting business from today. So I need to know, number one, who are the agents that are in my market and the agents in my market that are active. So maybe they've done 8 or more buy side transactions over a period of time. I can identify who those agents are. I can go into their business. I can get insight into their business. So I can see things like what their total is on the listing side. How much have they done as a buyer agent? How many LOs do they work with, right? Are we talking about an agent that works with a lot of LOs, or do they have loyalty to a small handful of LOs that they seem to be giving business to frequently? We can use that to understand, okay, where's our in at, right? If I'm able to build a relationship with this agent, bring them into my circle, start to get those referrals. Are those referrals going to be consistent? Right. And so do I see a lot of other LOs that are getting onesie twosies? Or am I seeing that loyalty? But then let's go a little bit further because it's really not about looking at an agent, seeing that they're active, seeing that there's not much loyalty. So we could probably get, one or two of those referrals just to get started. Let's start to prove ourselves. what type of business are they doing? What type of borrowers are they working with? And so we can look at their LO and the agent relationship, and we can start to filter or segment that business based on loan type, based on transaction type in the market. What market are they taking place? And you see agents, if I'm an LO, and my niche is and I'm really focused in on first-time home buyer business. Well, I hope to see and find agents that are also working with a lot of first-time home buyers. They're working with my borrowers, and I need to know that. And so when I know that, by looking at their business, I know that this, without a doubt, this agent and I have alignment together. And it's no different than recruiting on the LO side, right? When we're recruiting LOs, we're trying to find alignment to our value proposition. What can we do for you, not the other way around? Well, it's the same thing when you're looking at an agent, right? Are you working with the type of borrower that I'm working with? Are you working with similar LOs to me? Are you working with my competitors?
Mm.
Where is that business taking place? And is that business consistent? And if that business is consistent and I start checking off those boxes, well, then I'm one step closer to understanding this is an agent that's definitely someone I need to have in my sphere, have in my content where I'm delivering value so that ultimately we can build a relationship and same outcome as recruiting. We're going to do business together.
I like that. So, what was the shift? 'Cause, dude, this like when this first started coming out, I think I was paying, and this is just off the top of my mind, but if I remember right, and I'm pretty sure I'm right, I was paying $2,500 a month for this data and pinched myself that I had it. It was like,
Yeah.
this is like the best thing ever. And now I know with you guys, I mean, you have a program that starts, I know you guys give our listeners a special, starts at like 29 bucks a month.
Yeah.
I mean, in my world, we call that free, right? I mean, that's just to me, anything under $50, don't even think about it. Just it's free,
Yeah.
right? It's free.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't spend 8 hours trying to figure out how to get something cheaper than $50. I mean, that's like free.
Right.
So what happened that Oh, and by the way, listeners, you can go to modelmatch.com/MMA, modelmatch.com/MMA, and we'll put that in the notes here, where they have specials again, starting as low as $29 a month. Hey there. Hey, if you're loving the tips so far, be sure to hit that subscribe button right down there and then tap the little bell so that you never miss out on more free, cool tips coming your way. Also, I would love to hear from you. Drop a comment beneath there. Let me know what you think or tell me what you'd like to hear next. What happened that, what made all this data available now? Like, like it didn't used to be and now it is. What happened?
That's a really great question. And I think it's something that snowballed over a long period of time um, and became a light bulb moment for us at Model Match. No, number one, experience dealing with the data, right? The data has been around for a little bit of time. It's not necessarily a secret where it comes from and all that sort of stuff. Obviously, expanding and having a platform like Model Match that's expansive, we've been able, just like for your listeners, we've been able to give them exactly what they need and not oversell them on stuff that they maybe don't necessarily need. And so our platform allows us to say, look, if you just need access to this one part of the data, you can do that for a cheaper cost than paying for everything, and you're only going to use 2% of it, right?
Yeah.
And so, the shift in price really came due to market conditions, right? Obviously, a big component of the reason why Model Match is priced the way that it's priced is because we want to meet our users where they are. And
Mm.
so, we're not, we know the truck isn't backing up. We know that everyone's not bringing in a suitcase full of money. We want to make sure that we're able to have an option for a loan officer, no matter where they are in their own journey. And if they can afford $29 a month, as you said, we want to have an option for that budget range. If they can afford $200 and they want, a lot of different options, and that's within their budget, well, then we can have an option for that too.
Yeah, I like that. So, all right. So on this data, you mentioned a couple things. I just want to make sure I got some of it. So I can go in there and look up a real estate agent's name Or I can put in, give me real estate agents that fit this criteria.
Hmm.
And so I get their name, I get their what company they work for or with.
Yep.
I get how many listings they had that closed, how many buy sides, which is what I'm interested that closed. I get what kind of financing they VA, cash,
FHA, sure.
FHA
Yeah.
cash, right? So I know
Yeah.
if somebody's got 90% cash buyers, probably not my best referral source.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and then I get their phone number. Is that right?
Hmm.
And
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
get their email address so I can email them.
Yep.
Yep. Do I get a DNA sample? That's what I'm really wanting to know. Do I get
Yeah, I
a
mean, look, I mean, we'll give you as much as we have, right? So name and the brokers that they're with, their transaction details. We're very transparent about showing you those details, how we came up to this number that you see at the top, so you can dig in if you want. If we have a phone number for them, you'll get a phone number, direct, email addresses, you'll get that. You could put them into a list. You can export them if you need that option as well. You could push them to your CRM if you need that as well. So we really try to give you as much as we possibly can.
Yeah. So what's on the horizon? Like
Yeah,
what's new?
yeah, you're looking at when we talk about all this data, we really focus in on companies, company information, loan officers, real estate agents. Um, and our team at Model Match really got into the deep in the weeds on feedback regarding borrower information, right? There's a lot of anxiety that's out there, especially for loan officers that are maybe thinking about making a transition or made a transition at some point in the past. And they have that level of anxiety of losing that sense of ownership over their database, right? Or if they made that transition in the past, maybe they have already lost access to the database or lost connection with their past borrowers. Through that, listening, understanding what the pain points were, seeing those transitions occur, and then having our users ask, "Can you help me, fill this void?" We went from agents to loan officers, companies to borrowers. And so that's where our new tool, Borrower Insights, comes into play, where you can now not only search your past transactions, let me go find all my transactions from 2017, reveal information about those borrowers to me. Maybe I want their phone numbers and email addresses. Maybe I want, their calculated interest rate on that loan. I want their equity position. Show me that as a percentage. Show that to me as what the balance is. When was the last time the home was appraised? What's the home value right now? Show me what that looks like. And then being able to take all that information, put it into Excel, import it into your new CRM, really getting the loan officer to a position now where you truly do own your database with borrower insights. And then ultimately, well, I want to see other borrowers that are in my market. Show me every borrower that has, an FHA with more than 20%, more than 30% equity with the interest rate above 7 in my city, in my county, in my zip code, in my state. Show me all those borrowers. More importantly, show me those
Oh.
borrowers that are still in the home. They still own the home. So if the transaction was 5 years ago, we know they're still in the home. They're still there. Reveal reveal that information about them. Let me take that information. We'll show you who's on the DNC, who's not. Take that information, plug it in. Now we're talking a little bit more about the hybrid loan officer, right? That loan officer that's out there generating their own leads, finding out the borrowers that are in their market, building up a pipeline, building relationships with borrowers. So full access to our mortgage loan transaction database. And then going a lot deeper into those loan details. Like I said, calculated interest rate, equity position, home value, borrower contact information, all included there.
Okay, that's absolutely crazy. I had no idea that's where this was going.
Yeah.
So, it's interesting. We talked about it a few minutes ago. So dude, I hear this all the time. So if I change companies, and I didn't move my database over for whatever reason, right?
Yeah, sure.
I can go back and say, hey, all the loans that Carl White closed, give me my borrowers and whatever information you have on them, so that I can now, assuming it's compliant, and this is not a course on compliant, right? We assume everybody
Sure,
run through the compliance of your own company. And what I'm hearing
sure.
you say is you guys scrub the do not call list, so the list I get has been scrubbed to the do not call list. But I can then now contact my old past database that I lost somewhere in the download, somewhere in the move, whatever. I was going to download it. I went to go do it, and I was shut out or whatever. I can now go pull it, but I can also do that for give me all of, I don't know, John Doe's loan officer John Doe. Give me all of theirs too, because maybe we had, dude, I see this all the time too. We call these orphan loans. So maybe I was at ABC Mortgage. I left 6 months ago. I heard that loan officer Larry was over there too. I worked with loan officer Larry years. Loan officer Larry just retired. He's out, right? So I'm not doing anything that's going to be, I don't know what's the word, jerkish, right?
Yeah,
But I can say,
yeah.
hey, give me Larry's past database, and I can now market to Larry's past database. That's very
Ha
interesting.
happens and that third use case you just talked about, right? It happens every single day. It's kind of like the old saying, if you're not calling your borrowers, someone else will. And so
Wow.
that's really important these days, right? With everything that's happened on the Rocket, the Redfin side, and all the mergers and acquisitions that are happening and then will continue to happen. There's real fear, about battling the servicer, right? Battling the
Oh,
portfolio. And so,
and there should be fear,
yeah.
right? That's not unfounded fear. I saw a
Hmm.
thing. What was that? I saw a thing where I think it was Rocket. Because they just merged with Redfin and Mr.
Yeah.
Cooper.
Hmm.
And in the past, and this is just off the top of my head, but I know my numbers are somewhat close. In the past, they only refinanced of their own deals. I think they were only capturing like in the low double digits, like 16%, 14%, 12%, something like that. They projected the new percentage of refis they're going to capture. In other words, in the past, other loan officers refinanced most of their
Yeah.
deals. And now I think they said they're expecting to capture 76%, or like it was close to like either close or a little over 80% they're expecting to capture of their own refinances. So that's going to be refinances that the people listening to this podcast today, unless they do something about it, they're not going to get anymore, because that servicer is going to be calling them a lot more aggressively, which is why they bought out, merged with, or however,
Hmm.
whatever they did with Mr. Cooper. So this is very
Yeah.
interesting information. Now, is there like so I get this is there like is like how many can I get per day or week or month, or like how is that
Mhm.
throttled?
Yeah, there's no limit to it. You can reveal information, and again, we'll give you as much as we can on every single one of those loans, up to 10,000 at a time. But there's no daily or
Oh
weekly or
my
monthly limit.
gosh.
It's a big thing at Model Match. We try not to put limits on things like that. It's a credit-based system, so you could pay as low as I believe 24 cents for an entire loan record, which is a ton of information. You only pay for what you get, right? And so if we don't have any information, well, you're not going to pay for that. So it's very affordable, it's very flexible, and without very many limitations at all. We
But
want to put that power in the hands of the loan officer.
so is this something that just started, the borrower data? Is that a new thing?
So this is the first time I'm publicly speaking about it. We are in early access, so we call that like a wait list. So current Model Match users are getting priority, but anyone can go to modelmatch.com/borrower insights. They can learn more about the tool, how it works, what data they're able to get access to. You can jump on the wait list, and we're adding users every day. New users are getting access.
Very interesting. Wow, that's a really big deal, man. I like that. And I
Mhm.
understand you guys also have a CRM that I can download the information, like the list of now the borrowers, but in addition to that, the real estate agents and the loan officers and just directly go into your CRM and start marketing right through that. And I get it. This is not a robust CRM, the Salesforce where it does
Sure.
all these things. But as far as like marketing to the list, I know you guys and it can be a one-stop shopping type
Yeah.
thing where I can download the list and start marketing to them
Yeah.
all in one platform. Very interesting.
Yeah, it's super important that we keep it super simple, right? And so in Model Match, if you want to build a list or many different lists, there's no limits to that, of agents that you maybe want to focus in on. Maybe you want to build a list of your past listing agents that you haven't been connecting with. Well, you can do that. If you're on the recruiting side or you do some recruiting, you can build a list of loan officers and you can use our tools. You can make phone calls, you can send text messages. You can integrate with Outlook or Gmail to send outbound emails. You can also export those. So if we don't offer a tool that you want to use, a feature that we don't use, but you may be invested in some other tool that's going to allow you to do that, you can export that list of agents or LOs and put them into that tool as well. So we're very flexible when it comes to all of that.
Very cool. Well, man,
Yeah.
and let me tell you something. I really appreciate you guys giving special pricing to the people that to our followers, or I hate to say the word followers, but the people that we hang out with. I prefer because I follow them also. And
Yeah.
now it's never been easier with with Model Match. And I will
Yeah.
go on record to say that Model Match is the source that we actually use both over here on the training side and over at the mortgage side of Success Mortgage Partners, which I'm a part of. And dude, when I say we've used them all, I literally think we've used them all. Like we've used them all. And they're great services, right? There's none of them that are what I would
Sure.
call a dog, right? They're all
Sure.
pretty darn good. But how you
Yeah.
guys come in at the with some significant better on the pricing just really grabbed our attention over here. And so, I mean, if I'm being perfectly transparent, that's originally why we reached out because the price was so much less. It was like, how do these guys do this? And
Yeah.
you guys kind of follow my model, or I follow your model, or our belief system. Is I'd rather win the game with a bunch of singles than to try to pull home runs on my clients. I don't know. It just
Yeah.
never felt quite right. Can we do a home run on a client? Sure. Is that a right thing to do? It's probably not.
My go-to has always been in this part of my career and in previous lives, previous careers has always been, if you call me a vendor, I failed you, right? I
Mm,
want you to refer to me as a partner. We're partners in
mm,
this, and I'm definitely not here to gauge my partners. I'm definitely not here to see how much money I can get out of you. I'm definitely not here to nickel and dime you. What I'm here for is to build a solution that you can use long term, that's easy, that you can extract real value and actually grow your business with that tool. Otherwise, I'm churning and burning, and that doesn't help anybody.
yeah, boy, don't I know that. I see
Yeah,
that a lot, so
yeah,
so good thing.
yeah,
Well, Thomas, this is excellent, man. So now I have realtor information, I have loan officer information if I'm in the recruiting business, and I have borrower information of not just my past database, but of the orphan loans. And but I can tell you, for me personally, orphans have been a huge part of my business. That's always
yeah,
worked for me really, really well. And when I found out somebody retired or quit or just tapped out, something like that,
yeah,
I never did it in an uncool way. I don't know,
sure,
just it just wasn't my style. But when somebody
yeah,
uh, and dude, some of these big hitters, it never ceases to amaze me. You have a big hitter, they'll retire and they don't hand their database out. They just walk out the door. Like it's unbelievable how often that
yeah,
happens. So good
yeah,
stuff, man.
yeah, yeah,
Well, Thomas,
absolutely.
we cool? Anything else? We good?
No, I think that's cool. I'll send you the links so that your people that you hang out with. I like that. Your people that
Yeah.
you hang out with can go get more information. Obviously, the Mortgage Marketing Animals site on our website has all the information about our partnership and then that discounted pricing that you offered. So, we'll promote that and give your people a new way to rebuild their database or generate their own leads.
Cool. Hey, and for our listeners, the people that we hang out with, First of all, honored to be in your company, hanging out with you guys. And I'll tell you, I get it. A lot of people might say, "Hey, I've already got a source." Go check this out because they're not all the same. They are not all the same. So there's definitely differences, and the price difference is significant. Like it's not just a little cheaper. It's incredibly affordable. If you don't have one of these services, this is going to make things so much easier. It's like putting a jet engine on a wheelchair. I mean, it's just unbelievable difference, right? It's unbelievable difference.
Yeah.
This was a game changer in my business. So I the thought of going without this again, dude. I mean, literally, I think I'm sure that's the number. We were paying 2,500. Well, I was on
I
the very
believe it.
end. When this first came out, we were on the front edge, and it was $2,500 a month, and I begged and pleaded those guys to please let me be a customer. And we did
Uh,
that for years, literally a couple
yeah.
years. And then somebody said, "Why are you paying so much?" I said, "What do you mean?" It's like, come to find out. So anyway, great service. I appreciate you,
Uh,
Thomas.
yes, of course. Thank you, Carl. Appreciate you as well.
All right, brother.
All
We'll
right.
see you. And dude, we need to get you on the Breakfast Club too. This is great information. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'll get you. I'll hook you and Frank up together, and let's do another Breakfast Club. So good stuff.
Yeah, let's do it, man.
Modelmatch.com/MMA, modelmatch.com/MMA. Thanks a lot for everything. Appreciate you guys being here, and we'll see you on the next episode of Loan Officer Freedom. Thank you, and bye bye.